is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Countdown Scouting Network. I'm your host, Joey Garcia, and today we are going to continue the undrafted free agent series and start the NFC North. So the first team we'll look at is the Minnesota Vikings. They ended up picking Ivan Pace Jr., the linebacker out of Cincinnati. He's 6 feet tall, 230 pounds, and he's got a lot of short area quickness. He's very bursty in that sense. He is a good blitzer, B gap to D gap probably. You might be able to get away putting him in the middle and go A gap to A gap, but I'd probably stick B to D. He's a special teams guy. He's not going to do anything coverage wise. They do have Brian Flores in there, so kind of think of, if you remember at Miami, a Landon Roberts, where he was just a run-stopping specialist. I think that's probably what he'll end up being in the Brian Flores defense. So I think he has a chance to make this roster. The next guy I wanted to bring up was Andre Carter II, the edge from Army. He needs to put some weight on. He's 6'7", though. He's got a super long reach, 6'7". Needs to get some pass rush moves down. He needs to put a little bit of weight on so he can anchor down against the run. But he might be a guy who you put on third and longs and just tell him go after the passer. So he's probably not going to make the roster, but I think there's a chance. Detroit, let's bring in another running back. They brought in Jahmyr Gibbs. They also brought in David Montgomery. But Muhammad Ibrahim, running back out of Minnesota, is 5'10", 210 pounds. He is a mean runner. He has some issues with durability, and he is a slightly older running back, but he's got a low center of gravity. He's got good contact balance and very good vision. He's someone that's going to run in between the tackles, and as long as he stays healthy, he's good enough to be I think he's good enough to be an RB2 in this league. So I think he makes this roster as long as he's healthy throughout camp. Honorable mention that I had to put on here was Sterling Thomas V. He's a cornerback out of UAB. He's a longer corner. He's more of a cover 3 guy, but I like his tape a lot. I think he's a feisty corner. He can come downhill and tackle a little bit, and he really gets up in guys' faces. He's good with that press and run type coverage. So he's a guy who I think has a chance of also sticking in here, and if not, he will go. I think he got drafted to the USFL, so he'll go over there and play a couple years and then come right back. So let's go to Green Bay now. Green Bay, I picked Brenton Cox Jr., the edge rusher from Florida. Now, he does have some attitude issues. He had some problems at Georgia. He was a 5-star, had problems at Georgia, transferred to Florida, ended up getting dismissed from the program halfway through the year last year at Florida. But he's 6'3", 235 pounds, and super explosive. He's got all the physical talent you would ever want. He's just got some attitude issues, I think. He's very athletic. He's got really good power. For being 235 pounds, you would think, oh, he can't hold up in the run. Oh, he can't bull rush. He does. He's very strong in the lower body. I think if he doesn't have any issues in training camp, I think he ends up making this roster. Another guy I brought in here was DJ Scaife, the interior offensive lineman from Miami. He's a guy who I'm surprised didn't get drafted. I think this is a guy who will end up making their roster unless there was an injury concern or something like that I don't know about. I don't know how he didn't get drafted. He's a guy who can immediately be your swing guards. He can be a guard to guard. I don't know if he can snap, but he can definitely go guard to guard and be the backups there. So I think both these guys end up making the roster as long as there's not something behind the scenes I don't know. Last one is the Chicago Bears. I got Tyson Bagent 0, quarterback out of Shepherd. He's a guy who, if you subscribe to the Draft Network and you join the Discord, we talked about him a lot in there. He's 6'3", 215 pounds, and he's got a decent enough arm. He's decently mobile. He's kind of surprisingly mobile, and he's got good decision making. He doesn't have great elite anticipation or anything like that, but he's got fine traits all around. Someone who you would think could be a backup quarterback in this league, and maybe has the potential to end up being a Ryan Tannehill, Ryan Fitzpatrick type, where they're always starting for a few games. Obviously, Ryan Tannehill is the upper echelon of that, but someone like that, I think he could end up being a journeyman who starts for multiple games a year for you and is just kind of your solid veteran backup. So that's what I project for him. That's what I project for the Chicago Bears. So if you guys like this one, go ahead and leave a like down below. Comment if you think that I missed anyone, if there's some undrafted free agent gems that you guys know of that you think will make the roster, and we can go ahead and talk about those down in the comment section below. So have a good day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.